right, we're gonna start spreading some epoxy. I've got 100 mils mixed up, and I'm going to separate out how much I'm actually using so I can make sure I'm putting enough and make sure I'm pricing things correctly. And this is my first time using the CC DIY, so already I can tell that it is really thick, which is good. Less coats that's needed. And I always start with the fine glitter, get full coverage on that, and then go to the chunky glitter after that. And I follow the same swirl pattern when I put it on. So I'll start at the top, move my way down, angle it just like the swirl. Okay, let's make sure we get the rim really well. Back and forth, up and down. Okay, and it's laying on there really nice. I like this. Okay, I'm just gonna do this last little bit on the chunky again. Then I'm gonna move over to this one since this one has chunky pink also. And my hand has pink sparkles on it, pink chunkies, so I'm gonna do this one next. Fine glitter, now let's go over the red here. All right, let me just check this one area here, and we'll go on to the next one. A couple red ones, which is why I wanted to go with like colors. A couple red sparkles in here from that cup, so I'm just gonna pick those off. Oops. There's a foam piece in here and it's just a little bit loose. So that's why it's a little wobbly. A little bit more wobbly than the other ones. Now let's go all the way down and up and see. Okay, and I'm going to be making epoxy for the other two cups that I have. So I don't have enough to finish this one. So I used 100 mils and I got 3.5 cups. Okay, I will finish that in just a moment. If there's a couple, that's no big deal, but there were a little bit. Make some more epoxy for those other ones and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have some more epoxy mix, but I'm gonna hit these first ones with a torch. Don't know how quickly this sets, so we'll see. I'm definitely gonna get the torch on it. With the other epoxy that I was using, I actually heated up with the heat gun just to flatten it out a little bit, because when I put it on and put a lot on, then it didn't have enough time to even out, I guess I should say, unless I let it sit for too long after mixing it. Regardless, that helped me move it around a little bit more. After I'm done putting epoxy on my other two, then I'm going to come back to these ones and apply more if I have enough epoxy, which I should have. We'll see. If not, then no big deal. In a couple hours, I'll come put another coat on anyways. Let's get those micro bubbles out. And I know this one can use some more. I probably should have added this to that, but tried to get as many covered as I could. Okay, let me pull these ones out. These ones will be next. And now I know what to expect for volume, so I'm not going to worry about putting it into the little cup because I already know about how much I'm going to use for each cup. All right, next one we're gonna do is this one, then we'll hop back to those ones over there. Obviously the cup has all these different colors, so it does not matter that there are some of the bigger chunks over here. These ones are just a little out of place. All right, now over to these ones. Right, these colors are all very similar, not like these ones where it's fine and thin and chunky. They're all this white, light pink, opal colors. So I'm just gonna go up and down with these. This one is probably my favorite. I love the colors. These are similar colors to the cup that I made for myself. So I guess I like these colors. Swap these guys out. This one does have a definitive difference between the red and the pink, so I'm only doing the epoxy up to the pink edges on this. Okay, so this is what I keep my acetone in. We just got this yesterday and it's not labeled. So I know I got some here. And then I just go around my fingers, underneath my fingernails, and then wash my hands afterwards, after I'm all done. Kind of let them soak in this for a little while. And I'm going to go around the rims of the bottles. So I have these pumps for the Let's Resin, and it came with the gallons or half gallons, and these ones did not. So I need to order the pumps because I'm not going to be dealing with this all the time. And I always label the top of my epoxy so the caps always go on the same bottle. I've done it before where I didn't do that and I swapped the lids and it did harden up and crust because it was already doing that mixing and chemical reaction, and it was really difficult to get the lids back off. So I always do that. These came with two different colors, black and white, but I still, of course, for A, wrote an A on that. That way I don't forget, because I probably would forget, even though they're color coordinated. Okay, now I'm gonna hit the other cups with the torch. So last night, I did not put on another layer of epoxy, but I did this morning. So they have 2 layers of epoxy. I'm going to do 1 more layer and then I'm gonna sand. So 1 more layer today, it's after work, so evening time, and then tomorrow I'll sand them. This one, I added just a little bit more color, this light pink here, and then some gold because it was just looking a little too plain with all the colors being around the same shade. So I needed to give it a little bit more volume.
I had to remake 2 cups. The epoxy didn't set correctly to the point of no return. Up next, you'll see the final 6 cups.